Welcome to the Reimagine Podcast. Each week, give yourself 30 minutes and meet the people working hard to create the future of insurance today.
Hello and welcome to another episode of the Reimagine Podcast. I'm very excited today to dive deeper with an individual who's making waves here in Hartford. And for those of you who have been listening in Continuum, one of the themes that I keep coming back to in this series is that talent doesn't choose jobs. Talent chooses communities, and it chooses places where people feel connected, supported, and seen, especially and sometimes earlier in their careers. So in recent episodes, we've talked about building intentional pathways between education, employers, and opportunity. But today we're going to be focusing on the continuation of that story. So I'm very excited to be joined by LaChance Zevetchin, Executive Director of HYPE Hartford Young Professional and Entrepreneurs. It's an organization that I am a big believer in and something that I used to be a part of back in the day. And it's something that plays a critical role in how early career talent builds confidence, expands networks, and finds momentum right here in the capital city. So with that, LaChance, please introduce yourself, share a little bit about the work that you do and more about HYPE.
For Young Professionals and Entrepreneurs, which is an initiative of the Metro Hartford Alliance. My role is really to drive the strategy of HYPE, which is really to bring together young professionals in the Hartford region in a come-as-you-are networking way, where not only are you networking professionally, but you're also making social connections, you're building your professional development to really solidify your career path here in Hartford, and also to make Hartford your home. So we have an amazing group of young professionals who helps me plan all these events. They share their feedback, and every year we come back with a stronger calendar. And this year is our 20th anniversary, so we are working hard to bring Hartford back on the map for early career professionals and really make this place a home for them.
Wow, I remember HYPE's 10th anniversary and the celebration that was had. So I'm excited to see what you and the team put together for 20. I'm not sure how that happened, but it is a milestone and something that we'll definitely be celebrating. You know, diving in and tapping on a little bit of piece of what you said, and it's having an interesting moment in a number of ways, but specifically in this space, companies are hiring, communities continue to evolve, and young talent has more choice than ever. So what are you seeing firsthand about how early career professionals decide where and how they want to build their lives?
Actually being had right now in live time across the city and across the region. How are we attracting young professionals? What are they looking for as they're really settling down and setting down their roots, not just from a career focus, but also just from a personal focus? What we're seeing right now is, first of all, the job market is continuing to shift. We have, over 50% of the workforce right now is millennial and Gen Z, and they're really looking for their values to really solidify with their work. They want that work-life balance. So when they're looking for an organization, they're looking to see how their mission, their work, their focus aligns with their values on a day-to-day basis. They're also looking for that flexibility. They want to be in person, they want to learn and grow and make those connections, but they also enjoy the idea that with technology today, when it's needed, they can be flexible in the workplace. And they're looking for a city where they can build community. They're looking for a place to live that's affordable and has the resources they need. A lot of conversation right now happening across the city is, how am I making friends? How am I finding my community? Where can I go after work to really connect and be involved? So all of that together, the resources, the affordability, and the values of the organization and how they align with their everyday lives are super paramount right now.
Yeah, it's interesting because even internally here, we talk about how do we attract the best talent? How do we attract even the best interns? For us, we started recruiting interns about 6 or 7 months earlier than we had previous years because there's such a drive for the top talent that we have to secure those individuals early with opportunities. So as we're looking at that, and especially with attracting young talent, what are some, I would say, consistently misunderstood, or do employers misunderstand about attracting young talent, especially Gen Z and early career professionals?
The first generation that is really tapped into technology. They understand it so well. Where they live and how they get their information and how they connect is much different than we are used to. If you ask an early career professional, how did you find out about this event, or where do you get your news? 9 times out of 10, they're saying they're getting it on things like YouTube Reels and Instagram. And they're on TikTok, and they're heavily involved in getting their information on LinkedIn. So right there, they're just very, very ingrained in technology. They're also very aware that AI is not going anywhere and that they need to stay on the cutting edge of understanding that technology and how it will evolve and how it can improve not only their efficiency at work, but their everyday life. So providing opportunity for them to really continue that learning in AI. It seems scary for a lot of organizations to implement that, but it is something that continues to be a conversation. It's also about, it's not just professional development, it's how they're introducing their surroundings, so their community. Are they introducing them to the city that they live in, to the opportunities to get involved and be connected, whether that be being a junior boards member or volunteering at a nonprofit? It's showing the depth of the community around you, because right now young professionals are looking, as I've said, to see the value and how it's really aligning with their values and their personal goals. It's just really like, you have to recognize that young professionals now, they want to make a difference. They want that work-life balance of, personally at work, I'm making a difference. I'm seeing how my work is evolving the organization, but I also know that my organization is heavily invested in my personal growth. And how are you introducing them to something like a HYPE, where they can get out there and start to build and start to feel like their life has purpose and meaning?
Yeah, I appreciate that. And it harkens back to a similar episode with Jared Koski and Larissa Burke, where you're talking about the value, right? And as you mentioned, it's not just compensation. It's the individuals providing value, knowing that what they're doing is more than just their job, but really giving back to the area around them. So, following that same thread, to me, I'm hearing a message around visibility and how HYPE helps to create that visibility for leaders, peers, opportunities. Can you talk to us a little bit about why visibility is such a powerful retention tool, especially in those first 5 years of someone's career?
For early career professionals, it makes them feel like they have purpose. So when you are recognizing your top talent is really driving and really being successful, you are also showing them that they are already a part of your community, that they are valued. With HYPE, what we try to do is we try to provide them with those opportunities to connect and find ways to be part of the community here in the greater Hartford region. And when we really highlight them and the success that they're having, whether that be through our LinkedIn spotlights or in our newsletter, we're showing them that we really see their potential, and we're also giving them exposure to other organizations and leaders across the greater Hartford region to show, like, this is the next generation of talent. These are the ones that are going to step in as the next generation takes on their well-deserved retirement. That visibility helps really to lay that groundwork to build their community, to be able to take those next steps in their career. It's also about support. You provide them with that visibility, they start to build their network. And when they're looking to grow, or they're feeling a little stuck or uncomfortable, or they face a challenge or an opportunity, they know that they have that community that we've built with that visibility for them to lean on, to ask those questions, to network, to lean on when maybe something doesn't go the way they thought it would, so they can recognize that opportunity from that lesson. It's the visibility there is really just about, like, it's a building opportunity for these young professionals.
It's great. And for employers listening, what are 2 or 3 tangible ways an organization can better partner with groups like HYPE? So to strengthen that engagement, to hopefully strengthen that retention, and to also attract folks inside. So, like, what are some ways that they could tangibly partner better?
We offer these really great opportunities. We call them grub clubs, where my team comes in and we'll bring a few of our leadership committee members, and we'll present to young professionals on the value of HYPE, what we offer, and we also share what's happening across Hartford, the different restaurants, the different hospitality opportunities, the events coming up, so that they can see what's happening, how they can get involved, and the resources available to them. That's one way, is really just get us in front of your young professionals and let us hang out with them, have a conversation with them. share our experiences. I didn't mention it, but I was actually a HYPE member. I moved here from across the river, as a lot of people say, from the sleepy, quiet corner, and didn't know anyone, and I joined HYPE and built my community. So I know that there's other young professionals out there that come to these organizations and they're not really sure how to get started. So let us get in front of your young professionals. The other option is I'm always promoting our events. We can share our events. You can attend. You don't have to be a HYPE member. Test the waters. Share it in your newsletter. Share it on your intranet. Share it with your human resources leads. And just say, hey, we have an organization here that's really working to help young professionals make connections. And let them decide. This is also an opportunity for that young professional who might be nervous to network. We're a Come As You Are networking group. So please encourage them. We're very friendly and welcoming, and you can come out and hang out with us. And then the other one too is, we have what we call Next Gen Summit, which is happening this fall again, and leaders can come, and it's an opportunity for leaders to learn too how to lead the next generation. So if you're curious about HYPE and you're not sure exactly if it's a good fit for you, you can come to Next Summit, or you can email me at lzevetchin@metrohartford.com, and we can sit down and have a coffee and talk more about HYPE to see if it's a good fit for your young professionals.
It's great. And there's so much opportunity too. I mean, to get involved and to learn and to become engaged, and it really helps within the retention, but also the attraction side of things. Talk to me a little bit about one or two things that you're excited about going on in Hartford right now. What is something that you're like, hot damn, thank goodness this is happening. We need this.
Continuing to bring in so many amazing attractions. I mean, we have Cardi B coming, which I cannot wait for, and the Connecticut Sun is now playing here. We have new restaurants popping up all over the place, and also we have a lot of interactive opportunities coming to the greater Hartford region, specifically on Trumbull Street and Pratt Street. We're doing the Arena District with Metro Hartford Alliance and the Hartford Chamber, which is going to bring so many great restaurants to the area. So when you go to a UConn game, or you go see a show, you have so many different bars and restaurants to go to. We have the Rock Bar coming, which I'm very excited about, which is live music and food. I can't beat that. And we have a lot of events that are coming up. I mean, we're celebrating 250 years of America, and we have what we call the Bonanza coming this year on the 4th of July in Hartford. It's a huge fireworks show with a big party in the park, which I'm super excited to attend this year. And we have Hartford Taste coming again on Trumbull and Pratt, which really I can't wait for. It's the best of the best restaurants where you get to try everything. And we have live music at the Riverfront coming again this spring, which is always a treat. So there's a lot happening here. Those are my favorites that are popping up. But really, it's just nice to see more and more restaurants really investing and coming to the area, more organizations that are really looking to provide entertainment for the people that live here.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And it's such a great place, right? So I work in downtown Hartford. I can walk out the front door and it's restaurants, it's entertainment, there's shopping, there's engagement. You see friendly faces, people you haven't seen in a while, or maybe you have, or maybe you're meeting new folks along the way. So I love Hartford, and I too am excited for everything you've just mentioned. We've been talking a lot about Cardi B recently, so we might just have to run into each other at that show.
And I agree with you. I think the community in Hartford is so welcoming, and I also work in downtown, and when you walk out the door, you never know who you'll run into. I was just getting ramen noodles at Banh Mi down the road and into a few people from Leadership Greater Hartford, and it's just so nice to know that everyone that works downtown and everyone in our community, not only do they recognize you, but they're so warm. How are you? And it's a moment for you to connect, find ways to collaborate. Everyone's so willing to work together. It's one of the things that drew me to Hartford was everyone here is uplifting and wanting everyone to be successful.
That's great. You mentioned different leadership within HYPE. Could you talk to us a little bit about that? And specifically, when you think about the members who get the most out of HYPE and the experience, do they come in with a certain mindset or approach that sets them apart?
HYPE members and also leadership committee members are the ones that came in recognizing that they were a little shy, that they knew they wanted to build their network or make connections and meet new people, and they weren't sure where to begin. They were the ones that were very quiet and in the corner to start. And once we get them out of their shell, they seem to thrive the most because they feel welcome and they start to recognize the benefit of community. remember very distinctively a few years ago, I ran into a young professional who came to one of our Next Gen summits, and she was standing in the corner with her drink, just kind of watching everything unfold. And I approached her, introduced myself, and now she's on my leadership committee. She's very vocal, has amazing ideas, always willing to step in and help plan events and welcome other HYPE members. I really do feel like it's the ones who are like, I'm going to push myself just a little bit here for that growth, who seem to thrive the most. And that's, I think, really truthfully, it's the reason is just because our community is just so welcoming. We just want you to feel welcome, and we want you to find your way so that you want to stay and be sticky here and hang out with us.
That's great. So from flipping the thought process a little bit, if an employer were to ask you, what's one thing they could change in the next 90 days to better engage young professionals, how would you answer that question?
Young professionals want to have conversations, ask questions, and feel connected. When we came out of the pandemic, one thing time and time again was that young professionals are looking to have that access. So finding ways to really provide that intimate time with your leaders is paramount. I know from experience, I have some great mentors that they've given me the time and the space to learn from them, even if it's just sitting in a larger board meeting or having stand-ups with leaders where you can ask questions. It's that access. It's being able to learn from them. One thing that we're actually doing through HYPE right now is we are announcing this week what's called Beyond the Title. It's 1-hour conversations with leaders where it's not just, here's what I do every day, these are the updates for my organization. It's one time I was faced at a crossroads with how to handle a situation, and this is how I handled it, and this is why, and this is what I learned from it. It's really giving them that access to your leaders to show them that the growth is not linear. It's like a mountain, and sometimes every leader has a challenge or a pivot to make, and humanizing them a bit, it's access.
There's more power in learning from mistakes sometimes than learning when things went right. If you were to address a early career professional or college student and they're wondering, this sounds wonderful. HYPE seems like a really great organization. It's connecting people, it's connecting opportunities, it's growing in community, it's making impact, making difference. But maybe I'm not 100% confident that I'll find my place there. What's a message that you would share with them to make sure that they understand that HYPE can be part of their journey and that they should get involved?
The second thing I like to say is we have young professionals from every industry, every background. We have young professionals who've lived in Hartford. They're from California, New Jersey, New York. We all have different interests. That's the beauty of HYPE. Our chair of the Hartford Young Professionals and Entrepreneurs, Amir Johnson from HYPE Partnership, always likes to say that when he meets and gets to know them, he asks them personal questions because you never know who you might meet and be like, oh, by the way, Lauren loves hiking with her dogs. So do you. I'm going to connect the two of you. The opportunity through HYPE is really boundless. You don't know who you'll meet. And it could be an opportunity for you to really find a strong community that's uplifting for you. And in addition, the earlier you start your professional development, the stronger your foundation. So like I said, it's never too early to start, and don't be shy. If you are a little nervous to join one of our events, you can always connect with me on LinkedIn first, and I'm more than happy to have coffee with you to kind of like lay the land and acclimate you slowly.
If you visit your LinkedIn, you'll see that you do have a very interesting background, wide network connections. But why is it that you do the work that you do?
Is connecting people with people and seeing people for who they are, and recognizing their strengths. So one of the things I love about HYPE is that it's my role is to really build the community and help people see their full potential and find their people. So I find it gratifying every day when I meet a new young professional and I recognize you really love working in actuary and also you love rock climbing. So here's all these great organizations that you can be involved in, and here's 5 people that also rock climb on Saturday morning, and seeing them find their footing is so satisfying to me. I have been in a place where I felt out of place, and sometimes it's just recognizing your superpower in a room full of people where you might feel a little uncomfortable that can really empower you. So for me, it drives me every day. I also love Hartford. I remember moving here and everyone from my hometown was like, "You're going to Hartford? What the heck?" And I can't say enough good things about it. It's an up-and-coming city. It's growing every day. So to also be a really just a cheerleader for the city and its growth, it's just the best of both worlds for me.
And as we look to wrap up today's conversation, one thing for me has been very clear that careers don't grow in isolation, right? They grow through people, access, community, attention. And HYPE exists to help young professionals grow with that intention. So for me, the way that I would describe it is it's a place to build that confidence, expand your network, and connect with people who want to see you win, right? People like Lauren, the exec committee, and others on her team. So if you're early in your career or even mid-career and you're looking for momentum, check out HYPE. And for employers who are listening, organizations like HYPE are not just nice to have. They're essential partners in building a strong, connected, and future-ready workforce. So, Lauren, I know you mentioned it earlier in the episode, but if people want to learn more about HYPE and connect with you, what is the best way they can do that?
So if you're looking to just join us, see what we're about, you can even just connect with me on LinkedIn, and I'm more than happy to chat with you. Part of my role is to welcome you here, and I love coffee. So please do not be shy. Send me a note. Like I said before, employers as well. We have a whole page on employer participation right at hypehartford.com. And the last thing you can do is follow us on Instagram at HYPE Hartford. We not only share our events, but we every week share all of the different events happening across Hartford so that you can pick and choose where you'd like to spend your weekends.
Lauren, thanks for joining the conversation today. I'm sure it's first of many, and I'll link out in the show notes some of the links that you provided in your commentary. So for those of you who've tuned in to another episode of the Nassau Reimagine Podcast, thank you for listening, and we will see you in our next conversation. Thanks so much.
Thanks for listening. If you enjoyed the show, please rate and recommend us on iTunes, Stitcher, Overcast, or wherever you get your podcasts. You can also get more great information about this company and other great startups at imagine.nfg.com.